Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today's layout is sponsored or for YouTube Layout Hop on Facebook, and I will be creating this layout for Mother's Day. And this was the May prompt was Mother's Day, a themed layout of mom or sister, female figure you would look up to, and must include a vintage picture of them. So this is a layout of my mom who passed away recently, and in this picture that you see here, that's me. I'm the oldest of three, and she was carrying me, and in the other picture are my two younger siblings. So you figure these pictures are pretty vintage. I was born in 1974, so um, I think that's considered vintage. So the paper that I'm using is both the 12 by 12 that you see and this scrap, actually, this is a scrap piece of paper, are One Canoe 2. And okay, so the that background paper is from the Goldenrod, I think it's called. It has a really funky handwriting, so I'm hoping that's right. Goldenrod. I am not sure what the name of the other paper is. I don't see that paper pad anywhere, so I'll have to, I guess I'll figure it out eventually. But I'm not really using much from this collection. I do pull out a few pieces of paper and I audition them, but and believe it or not, the struggle was real. I could not figure out what I wanted to do, and you will see that shortly. So I'm trying to figure out here. I know I want the papers, the photos in this direction, because my mom, the picture where she's carrying me, my mom is facing, like, looking towards the left. So I wanted her to look like at the other picture, so that way it's not like she's looking, I know she's looking at me, but I also wanted her facing her other kids. So as you saw, I did go through a couple other papers. I fell in love with these papers. This paper right here, my mom loved gardenias, and I'm pretty sure this isn't a gardenia, but it reminds me because of the white flowers. So I wanted to use that paper, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so bear with me while I try to figure it out. I think at this point I'm going to gut the paper because I wanted to use, I kind of wanted to use that as a frame, this paper, and it's like a holographic, or like, actually no, not holographic, it's like a silver foil, which, it's beautiful. The camera doesn't really do it much justice. And I am going to cut my blue paper, and I'm actually going to cut probably about a 1/4 inch. Actually, no, I think I did 1/2 inch on two sides. And on this I gave it a 1 inch frame. And I didn't go all the way because I didn't want to cut the paper. So this is what I'm thinking. And at first I was like, that's a lot of flowers. So bear with me while I try to figure it out. I am going to glue it down to my paper, or rather to my little frame. But before that, I'm going to ink it, and as you can see, my hands are like jelly. This is a very emotional, very hard layout to scrapbook, but I wanted to do it. I needed to do it, and it's done. So and I absolutely, probably definitely one of my top 10 favorite layouts. How it turned out. So I'm trying to center this so that I have the same amount of space all around the paper, and I'm using the guides in my mat to figure it out. And this is where I'm looking at this and I'm saying, what am I going to do with the rest of this? This is a lot of dark colors, and I'm not really used to using so much of a dark background. And I'm flipping through and I see this pink paper with the flowers, and I thought it was cute, and I keep going, and really nothing was calling my name. By the way, this paper collection I purchased at Tuesday morning, and it was like $6. So I'm not really a paper, um, what do you call it? Paper pad purchaser, unless it's good paper. And this is definitely, I really liked their paper line. So yeah, so here I am again going back to that 6x8 paper pad, and I wish I could find it. I don't know where I put it. I cleaned my desk so well, and don't know exactly where it ended up, but I could tell you it's not with the rest of my paper. So it might be on another stack, under a stack somewhere. I will tell you this: if I find the paper collection by the time my voiceover is done, or while it's uploading to YouTube, I will add the name to the description. So here's where I decide, yeah, this isn't working for me, and I decide that I'm going to cut my frame in half, and then cut my paper. And I had already put glue down, so that was very interesting, trying to get get it off the paper, and now try to cut it. So this is where I decide that I didn't go straight, and we need to do it again. And sorry, for whatever reason, I did not flip this part of my video, so bear with me as I will be hopefully flipping back to the correct setting, so that I'm no longer sideways. So I'm just gluing everything back down, and this layout came together very quick. There's not really too much on it. It's kind of on the plainer side, but I thought it was absolutely, I mean, that blue paper is a stunner. And I felt that having the half white, at the bottom definitely made it easier on the eyes. And definitely less busy. So I'm just inking those two edges so that you can see the inked edges, because I have already inked the edges on the blue floral paper. And then again I notice, that didn't go straight again. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to try to get it as straight as possible. And then I was thinking of doing another strip of paper at the bottom, like to frame out the blue area, and then I changed my mind. And at this point, who knows what I'm thinking, right? Because I must be looking for something else. And then I was looking at this piece of branding strip, and yeah, that's where I realized that I needed to cut that little piece off. So my photo is backed with the pink paper, and I also have the blue and white. And I decide that I'm going to fussy cut some of these flowers off the paper so that I can have a little bit more going on at the bottom of the page. So while I fussy cut, I just wanted to thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Christine, for hosting these YouTube videos. Definitely help when you're having a little scrapper's block, and I appreciate the prompts and look forward to doing the videos when when I can. So if you're watching this video, you probably don't know that I did my first live video yesterday, and yes, I am one day behind. I was having computer issues. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll get back to that story. I'm not in frame. Hopefully I will be soon. And I'm just going to add that piece of paper to the bottom, which is probably about 8 inches long, to the bottom of my paper, just to give it a little, bring some of that silver down to the bottom of the page. And then I'm also going to add, and I'll probably do it eventually, some of the pink. I left a slightly blue border around my flower, just so that it, because I felt like it needed to pop off of the page, up against the white background. So yeah, so going back to my Facebook Live, I've never done a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live. I can't do YouTube Lives yet because I don't have enough subscribers to do them, but I really enjoyed it. If you don't follow me on Facebook, I will have the link in my descriptions. I plan on doing more Facebook Lives, so this way, you're notified if you're a subscriber. It was a lot of fun, and I got great feedback, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. So of course, if I'm making a video, I'm going to fumble with my glue. And here we go. I ran out of adhesive, and luckily it was close by, and I can just continue on my merry way here. So I broke the leaf by mistake, and now I'm just sticking it back on. And I'm going to cut whatever's hanging over the edge of the paper. So at this point, it doesn't really look like much. Like it still doesn't look like a completed layout. And really, there's not too much more added to this. Of course, I went a little crazy with the adhesive, but this adhesive eraser is the best tool, and I definitely recommend you purchasing it. I'll link one down below in the description. You can find it at any scrapbooking store and Amazon. They're super cheap, but it is like a must-have. I have saved so many things from disasters with this adhesive eraser. Alright, so now I am going to add my embellishments, and this little camera, and you know what? I might be finding out what the name of this collection is in that small paper. I believe it's called Saturday Afternoon. Huh. So Saturday Afternoon is the name of the collection of that pink paper in the background. And it's also by One Canoe too. The thickers that I'm using, the camera, it's called Smile, and I got the camera, I believe, from there. And now I'm just going through the ephemera pack, and I'm trying to see what else I can add to it. I wanted to add something that tag to the side, the heart, but that I end up not using. And I'm just, going to run through the process and see what I'm going to use, what I like. And this card definitely spoke to me. It actually says, nothing is worth more than this day. And, life was simple back then. When you're a child, nothing really affects you. You worship your parents, especially in the age that those pictures were taken. My mom was devoted to us. She never worked outside of the home, and she was always there. So I'm just going to add some of the hearts from this sticker collection, and I think I'm going to go with 2 on the right side there, but I actually flipped them because the bottom one is smaller than the top one, and I definitely wanted to have the bigger one on, you know, more weight on the bottom. So here I'm trying to see if I want to add another piece of paper, and I decide nope, I'm going to ink my edges and time to glue everything down. So we're pretty close to the end of this video. I think I do get cut off at some point towards the end when I'm adding some sequins. Sorry about that. I had a moment. I had a senior moment. No offense to any seniors, but I had a moment. I couldn't remember my words. So I'm just going to glue everything down, and I end up using this little tag here, and I just push it into the corner, and I felt like I needed some little something up top. So here's where I'm cutting the pink background paper that you see at the bottom. Actually, no, I was adding some foam to the house. That little house was in the ephemera pack, and I wanted it to pop up, you know, with the flowers behind it. So definitely fumbling a bit, trying to figure out what's next. And I think this is where I'm going to pick that little pink paper and do 2 fishtail like smaller ribbons to go on top of that silver paper at the bottom. Well, I just want to say real quick, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by and watching my videos. If you haven't subscribed, you know, please do so. And if you want to be notified when I have new content, just hit the little bell button. This has been a very hard video to also do a voiceover. I avoided it for a while, and then when I was ready to do it, I was having computer issues with my program, my editing program. So it's like a day late, and you know, I apologize for the late content, but and in the end, I think it came out really nice. So here I am using a rub-on, and of course I don't learn from my mistakes because that always happens to me. The rub-on is also part of the collection for Saturday afternoon. So I'm just going to add a heart on top of that little blunder that you saw there, and you can't even tell that I got, you know, something on it. These rub-ons were excellent. They, as you can tell, they went on very easily. Didn't take much. And this bone folder is a must-have. Also an Amazon find. It's a 2-pack, super cheap. Absolutely love it. It's, I believe, a Teflon one, so nothing sticks to it. So for my title, I will be using L Studio title builder stamps. Let's see if I have the actual one in front of me so I can tell you which ones I used. Alright, I used for this layout, and actually I'm going to add something. Oh, I'm right now I put a scrap paper because I wanted to use a blue ink, and I didn't know if it was going to work, if it was the right blue, and it turned out to be perfect. The ink is actually a StazOn in Midnight Blue, and I'm using my 12x12 Misty to my title will be These Are the Memories That Matter. And I think I used a couple different sets, and I had a hard time picking a title because I already made a layout that said mommy, you know. I really didn't know what to do. So these are the Memories That Matter, are all from the Title Builder Volume 4 stamp set from El Studio. I absolutely love them. I have used them many, many times. I was trying to think of what else I can add. I don't end up adding any more stamping, so I'm going to put my Misty away, which, by the way, game changer if you're not a good stamper. I'm a mediocre stamper. I usually have to restamp things multiple times in order for them to come out nice and clear. I'm looking for some sequins, and I end up finding a nice set of colors that are like almost like a rose gold coppery color, and they're tiny, so I don't know if you'll be able to see me use it and put them down. Oh, there you go. And I think I actually go through a couple different colors. And I also end up using the rub-on, another rub-on to the left of the house at the bottom that says I love you in that rose gold metallic-y color that you see the hearts there. So okay, so sped it up a little bit. I'm gluing down everything using some art glitter glue, and I think we will soon be done. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really appreciate it. If you're a mom, happy belated Mother's Day. Don't take things for granted, because one day your loved ones are here, the next day they're not. And sometimes that's something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. So with that, have a great night. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed my layout. There's still a little bit more left, so if you haven't already closed your window, at the end of the video there will be close-ups of the layout.